Well, this is certainly a first. I'm almost ashamed to admit it, but I'm finding myself at a loss here. I can't decide if I should be utterly terrified and fearful for my life, or if I should be impressed by all of this. After all, it takes quite a lot of effort to subdue me, even more if you want to knock me unconscious. And this little setup you have here, it's actually quite nice. Must have taken you a lot of work to put all this together. I really do have to admit, I'm leaning toward being impressed. However, curiosity is making me lean a bit toward being absolutely terrified. After all, I do want to know why I'm here. I could have sworn you and I were friends, or at the very least, classmates who were on the same side. You know, the side of killing our teacher, saving the human race, and really all of the world. Whatever happened to that? Did something change? Did I specifically do something to make you change your mind? Or are you going to be turning on all of us now? Oh, really? You haven't turned against anyone? Well then, would you mind explaining why exactly I'm tied up in your basement? Or how about why you knocked me unconscious to do this to me? Oh, no. No, certainly not. I don't think badly of you because of it. To be quite honest, I've thought about doing this several times. Never to any of my current classmates, but certainly to a few undesirable people. Though I can't imagine why you would do it, if you truly haven't turned against anyone. It's difficult to explain. Well, why don't you give it a go anyway? Even if it takes you a while to figure out how to word it. It's not like I have anywhere to be anytime soon. You don't think I would understand? Try me. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by what I can understand. Even if it's twisted. You ought to know by now that I try especially hard to understand things that are, as you put it, twisted. Besides, now you have no choice but to tell me. After all, you've piqued my interest. I simply have to know the twisted reasoning behind why you brought me here. So go ahead. Try to explain yourself. I'm dying to know the answer. You've been watching me for a while now. Well, that's no surprise. After all, when targeting someone, you do need to learn their habits. When they're alone, when they're vulnerable. But that doesn't explain why. Oh? And how exactly does it explain why? You were watching me because you're fascinated by me. Well, that is certainly not something I ever thought anyone would say about me. But what exactly drives your fascination? I do believe that Koro-sensei discussed that term. Briefly, but... Oh, I see what's going on. Yes, I remember now. He did briefly discuss that term with us. We thought that He was just being ridiculous because it's typically only a word you hear used in anime or video games. The term yandere is often used to describe someone who is so lovesick it drives them mad. You said that you were fascinated by me, that you were watching me because of it, and that your reasons for watching me would explain your reasons for kidnapping me. Am I to take it then that, since you brought up this term, the term yandere, is that what you are? Are you a yandere? Well, that would certainly explain a lot of things. Your behavior, not just recently, but ever since I met you. You were always so withdrawn, so uninterested in almost everything. Yet you always worked so diligently. It was almost like you weren't even human. You were operating as if you were a robot, incapable of expressing emotion, yet somehow driven to always be the best. And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that I actually admired you for that. I thought that you were someone I ought to aspire to be more like. After all, you were so skilled, so good at separating your feelings from your work, which, of course, I now understand why you were able to do that so well. It's hard to get distracted by feelings when they simply don't exist in your mind. Still, I always thought, if only I could be more like that, maybe then I could be the one to take down Koro-sensei. Oh dear. I seem to have gotten you all flustered. What? Do you like when I say that I admire you? Does it make you happy to hear me say that? How very convenient. So since you say that you're fascinated by me, and since you kidnapped me because of it, should I take it that you're now able to feel because of me? No, certainly not. I wouldn't be put off by that at all. In fact, I find the idea rather exhilarating. Why is that? Look at what you're willing to do for me. Look at what you're willing to do simply to have me close. I would have come over if you had asked. I would have happily spent the night. After all, my parents are away on business, though I'm certain you were well aware of that already, weren't you? You don't need to deny it. We learned in class that when looking for an opportunity, you want to make sure that your target won't be missed. And I certainly won't be missed at home. Not for quite a while. But of course, I digress. You are willing to do all of this. Kidnap me. Lock me in your basement. Tie me up. All so that I can be yours, and you can have me all to yourself for as long as you want. Now do be honest with me, would you? if I were to do this for you, if I were to desire you so much that I simply couldn't control myself, I just had to have you, all to myself, wouldn't you find that rather exhilarating? Well, I wouldn't say that I would go this far. However, I must say, you would certainly be worth all the trouble, all the effort of putting together a room for you, learning your schedule, figuring out exactly when to strike. You would most definitely be worth it. I really mean it. Why would I lie about that? You're worried that I'm just trying to please you? You think that I might try to manipulate you with this? It is a very tempting idea. I can't deny that. The idea of being able to use you, someone who is so devoted to me. It is certainly very tempting. But I won't toy with you like that. Unless you want me to, of course. Why am I resisting the temptation? As I'm certain you know, I am alone at home very often. I don't really have many friends, and my parents are quite often away. I don't really have many chances to feel cared about. I know that my parents do love me. They're my parents after all. But it is rather easy to forget those things when you're all alone. That might be part of the reason I act out so much in class. Or at least, why I used to. Maybe a part of me was hoping that the principal would call them, and they would drop everything and rush home because I beat up 2 students and almost killed a teacher. How I wish that that would have happened. But alas, I didn't get a chance to go for the teacher. He died before I could. Now what's that look for? Oh, you are hiding something. And from the look on your face, the way you snapped at me that it was nothing. Now I really need to know. You're hiding something good, aren't you? I do hope you realize that you can't lie to me. Your emotions are new. You haven't learned what your tells are. But I've already picked up on them. I know that you're hiding something. And I would be oh so happy if you would share it with me. You want me to be happy, don't you? You want me to feel safe here? Then how about you tell me what that look was for? You know why my teacher died so suddenly. And how do you know that? Oh, really? You had a hand in his untimely death? I see. Well, now that we've gotten that cleared up, would you be so kind as to untie me These ropes are rather uncomfortable, as I'm sure you know. Oh? You're worried that I'll try to run away? You're willing to kill for me. You're willing to hurt the people who hurt me because you love me so much. There is no way in hell that I am running away from this.